Welcome back, Lelanders, to a new episode of Clone Evolution. I was just checking the microphone levels there. Hey, current viewers, thanks already for tuning in. Alright, so for today's episode, as you can tell, maybe my voice is a little bit clearer. I managed to make it to day 2 with no cannabis. So yeah, at least my voice is starting to clear up a little bit. I know the first fucking day, man, it was rough. Last night, I was like feeling like shit so bad. I was like, God, I'm really just gonna smoke a bit of weed, and I managed to just go to bed and sleep it off. And I was thinking about it because I was watching some videos of people getting over opioid addictions. And I was like, holy fuck, at least I'm not in that boat where I'm not having seizures or something, knock on wood. So yeah, so far so good. Everything's going okay. Made it through the first couple days. It's always the roughest. I don't know, for me, I find weed addiction lasts about 2 to 3 days, and after that, it doesn't really bother me anymore. But yeah, those first few days, yeah, they're a little rough, but not seizure rough. So yeah, it's definitely a walk in the park compared to people that are going through serious addiction issues, or more serious. No, I hope everyone's having a good Ramadan, or Ramadan. It's, not sure even how to pronounce it, but yeah, I'm not going crazy with fasting this time. Not just because I don't want to break the YouTube terms of service, but also because, yeah, my body just isn't reacting well to fasting like it used to. I used to be able to fast 2 weeks, no problem. And now when I do it, it's like, man, I feel horrible. I start getting like massive body cramps and headaches and can barely move. So I even dizzy spells. So I'm like, fuck, man, I really can't be screwing around with fasting anymore. So I'm kind of doing a semi-fast where I'm just eating way less, no sugar. So I'm not going to go crazy where it's like cut everything out. Yeah, that's too much at this point in my life. Well, I'm not feeling too bad energy-wise today. I was thinking I'll try doing some working out. We got some packages that arrived today. My brother even came from Toronto and dropped off all the Intellivision stuff that I picked up on the road trip. So awesome that he did that. So I'll be able to check out a video for all that stuff soon. Oh yeah, and thanks again everyone who was watching the video game travel vlog that I filmed in Toronto. Surprisingly, it got like almost as many views as my last travel vlog up north. So I was thinking, wow, thanks everyone for watching. I know I did get a few technical issues when I did the watch party. It said that it was finished rendering HD. So I'm like, all right, let's do the watch party. Throw the watch party on, what do you know, the video wasn't finished. So I was like, you fucking son of a bitch, YouTube. Why the hell did you tell me the video was finished? And then when I hit play, and then it says, oh, sorry, it's not finished. Yeah, so sorry everyone who was watching it, it was really grainy. Is because YouTube hadn't finished rendering it yet, even though they told me they did. I literally let it render overnight. So I thought for sure it had well more than enough time to finish. Finishing quick was not its specialty. So yeah, thankfully the video did semi-finish rendering. I even checked it today to see if it was finished rendering, and let's check. It's like days later and it's still, I bet you it's not finished.
You have the...
Yeah, it's looking like, yeah, we're up to 7 likes and 52 views. Thanks a million, everyone. Appreciate it. Yeah, so if anyone's wondering, you just click on the video and then you go down to the gear. Obviously, most people know this already. And you should be able to have a 4K option here. So I'm not sure why it stopped at 1080. Is it still rendering like days later, or is it just not going to render the 4K? It decided against it, I guess. I don't know. So if anyone's wondering, yeah, we did get the video up to 1080, and I'm going to try to improve the graininess. I know when I was editing the video, it looked a lot better than it did when it finished rendering, so something went wrong in the settings. So I'll try to fix that. And if anyone's good at video editing and they want to help me with video editing, yeah, sure, I could use all the help I could get. No, and if anyone's, yeah, I got a few questions about the camera that I was using on the video game road trip. And a lot of people thought I was using a drone, and that's actually what I was hoping a lot of people would think. Because, yeah, I wanted to do a lot of drone shots, but it just wasn't working out right. So I was like, fuck, man. I found an alternative method to get drone shots without even using a drone. So I don't want to give away all my secrets, but yeah, I'll give you a hint. It's not a drone, but it definitely looks like one. Now, I was thinking I would try to make up some sort of joke for my special camera angles. We'll have it as an invisible fairy creature. That's what's filming it. Level 299. Yeah, there's a flying invisible fairy creature that follows me around. It's multiple genders. And it films everything for me. Hey, Naked HD, welcome back to the chat. Thanks for the spam. Now, I seen you sharing comments in other people's videos. I'm feeling betrayed. It's like, why are you abandoning me? Yeah, it reminds me of my one buddy from work. He used to get mad when telemarketers would call him over and over and over again. And then he's like, you know what? Instead of getting mad, why don't I try to make something entertaining about this? So what he would do is when a telemarketer came, he would get the person on the phone and he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm like really into everything you're saying, right? Like, God, all these products you're trying to sell, put me down for like hundreds of them. So it's like he leads the telemarketers on and on and on the phone, saying that he's going to give them a sale, he's going to give them a sale. And then right at the last minute, he calls his whole family around and he's like, everyone, come listen. Then he's like, you know what? Just kidding. And then a lot of the telemarketers are like, sir, you really shouldn't do that. You're wasting our time. And he's like, wasting time, eh? So yeah, it's like, hey, Steadfast, how's it going? So it's one of the tricks to alchemy, right? Sometimes you can get upset about something, or you can just like try to make a way of making it not such a bad thing after all. Now, I encounter my fair share of bad shit, so I'm trying to work in that strategy myself a little bit more than usual. Well, yeah, and we got some packages that arrived in the mail today too, so I figure I'll open those on air. Hopefully it's no sex toys. Now, that's always awkward, right? Like when you have really bad memory and you order packages, literally by the time it arrives, 99.99999% of the time, I can't even remember what I ordered. So it's almost like Christmas. I get a package, I'm like, ooh, what is this? No, luckily the doctors are telling me my memory isn't that bad. It's just the recall speed that's bad, because I actually still remember the package that I ordered. It's just recalling what I ordered is a little bit slow, to say the least. So it's not like the memory's gone altogether. It's just slow access speeds. Yeah, you don't always have to be the fastest to win in life, right? All right, so yeah, let's see what we got here. Not to dox myself. Looks like a brown box. It says it's from Logistics Yanwin and Timberland Boulevard, Mississauga. If anyone's not familiar with Toronto, Mississauga is like one of the cities on the outskirts. So we'll get out the old box cutter, X-Acto knife, and we'll open her up, see what we got. If I had to guess, I think it's something to do with camera gear. Maybe new batteries? I don't know. But then again, it arrives so quickly. Now, if anyone's wondering here where I live, how long is the shipping time, like turnaround, if I order packages from China? Some cases, if you put like pay for a little bit of extra speedy shipping, you can get it in like a week, sometimes two. But if you go for the discount economy class shipping, then you're looking at anywhere between like a month to 6 months. So yeah, I don't know, depending how much of a rush you're in. I usually just go with slow shipping because I'm at least patient enough that I'm not going to pay money to speed up waiting. Unless I need it really bad. And if I need it that bad, I would just order it from Amazon, because then they could get it overnight. No, we're lucky we got an Amazon warehouse in the city right next door. The place they call Cambridge. So yeah, we got an Amazon warehouse. So yeah, when I order Amazon packages, they show up sometimes within a few hours, not even overnight. It's pretty hilarious. So if anyone's fighting the Amazon packages warehouses near you, it's like, dear God, man, those Amazon package warehouse things, they're the fucking best thing I've ever seen. I don't know why anyone would fight those. Oh my god, I seen what it is that arrived. I'm so happy. This is actually from a new website that I hadn't ordered from before, and people are making fun of it, saying it's a horrible place, don't order from them. And then I checked more of the comments and people are like, well, it's difficult to order from them, but if you can, it's worth it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to challenge the skeptics about this shipping company, or this, it's sort of like eBay, and it's sort of like the Chinese version of eBay, but instead of being like AliExpress and Ali, it's a new one, or maybe it's not even new, I just found out about it, but it's called DH Express or something. And if anyone's noticed, AliExpress, they used to have like direct pricing from like actual manufacturers, so you could get it cheaper than Amazon or anywhere else. But really, that hasn't been the case for a long time. So I was looking for like a new one, like where's the cheap deals at? Like how can you get shit from China dirt cheap? So what I did, it's ironic that I ordered this during my fasting from weed points, but I got a new bowl. If anyone's wondering, why the hell did I get a new bowl? See if I got her around here. Oh, here it is. When it comes to my vaporizer attachment, people make fun of it sometimes, but actually a lot of times. I'm also agree with the people that are making fun of me. I like glass for vaporizing weed way better than plastic. The only reason I'm using a plastic bottle for this part is because it gets really dirty really quick. And yeah, you can clean it out, but it's like, yeah, it doesn't taste right. So I was thinking, fuck man, instead of cleaning it out and it not tasting right every time, why don't I just get a new bottle like every week and then slide in a new stem? So yeah, the stem that I've been using on this one, it's like 20 years old and the rubber grommet is definitely all decayed and shit. So I'm like, fuck man, I'm gonna order a new one. Tried to order a new one from Amazon and eBay. They wanted like 20 or 30 bucks. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. The places in China can make these for under a penny. So I was like, yeah, right. I'm not ordering it for 10, 20 bucks. I'm going to order it from the cheap Chinese supplier. So I put in an order, got the new stems. So what I'm going to do is make a whole bunch of these bottles with new stems. So that when I go to a party and people want to try my vaporizer, I can be like, look, we don't even have to share the same bottle. I can bring a whole bunch of bottles with stems each and everyone can use their own. Make it more sterile for the fucking pandemic, right? So, well, I guess the pandemic is mainly over. I hadn't checked the numbers in ages, and then, what is it, CDC or something launched a map, and they showed how the US almost has like no cases left anywhere, except for the regions that did the mandates and masks. They got hit hard. Still are. Not to make fun of it, I'm sure the CDC and the World Health Organization, they had good intentions when they were telling everyone to do the opposite of how the human immune system actually works. But yeah, I just have to say I agree with the CDC, World Health Organization. I'm not allowed to disagree, or I could be punished with death. The government will cut off your funds. You can't buy food. Yeah, it's a pretty serious dictatorship we're facing. But yeah, who doesn't want a challenge in life instead of everything being easy? So anyways, what I did is I ordered this big box of these stems. I don't know how many I got in here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, like fuck man, like 20 of them. Yeah, it looks like fucking 20. Got them for like a buck each. I was like, holy fuck, that's way better than 20 bucks. Hey, Shelly, how's it going? I remembered your avatar today. Quitting weed is helping a little. No, I didn't quit weed. I'm just cutting it out for, well, I guess a month. Some people are saying, is it for Ramadan? It's like, not really. I am fasting a little bit and cutting out the booze and the weed, but it's not really for Ramadan. It just happened to fall in the same month. That's what I was thinking. Ramadan's actually a really good timing, because really when it comes to fasting, is there any time better to fast than after winter and you got all those extra pounds on, you want to go to the beach soon? So you're like, fuck man. I know fasting is more of a religious thing, but yeah, it works great for weight loss too, right? Yeah, just gotta be careful. Once you're done fasting, man, you can really pack on the pounds quick if you binge eat. God, don't I know that? Yeah, Shelly's right. It's only, 5 more episodes and a full 365 or a full year of episodes. No, technically, I did the show for about, 3 to 6 months offline and just posting it without numbering them. So technically, I'm well over the year mark now, but It's actually a year of live episodes. Who was it? Oh yeah, it was Suki. Suki was the one that convinced me to try doing the show live so that I could interact with the viewers. And to be fair, I think it was an okay idea, but I kind of do miss the offline episodes too. I don't know, offline episodes are kind of neat because it's like you get to get on like a rant and you don't get distracted by anything. And as people can tell, I'm sort of like Kanye West, where if I get distracted, sometimes I go way off track. So now every time people make fun of Kanye West for like always going off on rants and never staying on track, it's like, God, I can't really make fun of that one. I know all too well about that. Yeah, so it's exciting here in Canada. The weather is finally starting to warm up a bit. We went to like spring weather for a week or two. And then as soon as I booked my trip to Toronto, fuck man, we got hit with winter storms like crazy. Nearly froze to death the first day. No, it was the second day. First day was cold. Second day it was like record cold. So I was like, holy fuck man. I was waiting for the bus and I was like in all my winter gear and I had about a 45-minute wait. So I'm like, fuck, I'll just stand here and wait, no bus shelter. And by the time I got to about the 20-minute mark of waiting, my whole body had gone numb. Like so cold, it actually was stinging. So I was like, fuck, do I walk home and cancel the whole trip or tough it out for another half hour and it feels like I'm gonna die? So I stayed. No, yeah, luckily my camera gear hasn't broke yet from that trip, thank God. Alright, what else did we get in packages? I think yesterday we got this in packages. Oh, this is a good one. If anyone hasn't ordered one of these before, I got a pretty good cheap deal on it. I don't know, I've already got an SD card reader, but it's one of the old USB formats. What do they call it, USB 2 or whatever? So I was like, fuck man, I'm doing all these high rendering videos, really big file sizes. So I ordered this. It's like a new card reader, except it's, what is it, USB 3. So it's got the blue. If anyone's wondering that, if you want to check to see what kind of USB device you're working with, if you see the blue in the USB cord, that's a good sign. Usually that means that it's USB 3. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what it means. Oh wow, this is nice. So it's got a micro SD card slot and the regular, and it should be really fast. So I'll swap that out with my old one. Oh, which reminds me, I better use a USB 3 cord, because man, if I plug that in with a cord extender and use regular, it's just going to slow it down. Alright, so that's for the SD card reader. Now, if anyone's wondering, Clone Evolution news, have they started the Aerospace Center? Not yet. I checked it again today. Still no Aerospace Center. Oh yeah, when it came to using the antigen test for the virus, after I was feeling sick after my trip, luckily I'm back to like 100%, so I don't really need the rapid test anymore, I don't think. But I'm going to save it in case I get sick again and I can do it. I don't know, they were saying in my province that pretty much everyone had the virus this week because after they ended the lockdown rules and mandates and everyone took the masks off, pretty much everyone got the virus, and yeah, it was very mild in like 99.999% of people, thankfully. Hospitals did not overflow. They actually had to cancel and close down a lot of the triage centers. Same thing, the government's like, oh yeah, we're going to open all these new beds in hospitals because we're going to see piles of bodies from space. Never happened. Didn't use any of them. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. The whole thing that the government was saying over the past while has pretty much been proven false on every single thing they said. But I know, I'm sure they were trying the best they could. Hopefully it wasn't some sort of plan to do it all on purpose. People legitimately make mistakes. Ooh, this one's nice too. Alright, so this one is my backup camera batteries. Now, this company, they claim that they can actually make a battery much better than the original company and like double the length of battery. So I'll be able to do like a lot of filming without it dying. It says here, what is it, Insta360. So anyways, yeah, these Insta360 are 360 camera battery packs. It can also do VR. So if anyone wants to watch that Toronto episode I did in VR, you're going to have to wait a little because I still have to edit it. But yeah, there's a VR edition coming. So you'll literally just be able to put on the headset and it'll be like you're standing right next to me for the whole trip. So that way you don't have to deal with all the camera angles that I chose because you can just look wherever you want, right? You'll be wearing a helmet and you can just look. So I think that's kind of a neat format. I was actually thinking about watching it in VR myself to see how it actually looks. So hopefully we'll get that done in a week or two. Now it's funny, I've actually bought batteries from this company before and I think they were okay. Made in China. Yeah, that arrived really fast. So thanks again, China. I know people sometimes don't like China so much, but man, they do a lot for me. If it wasn't for China, my life would be drastically different. Yeah. And I'm not sure for the better. Alright, so that's what some of the stuff we'll be doing is we're going to do some more videos about the Intellivision consoles. I'll finish the travel vlogs. We still got 2 more episodes in that trip to Toronto. I only finished one of the 2 days. I basically filmed 3 episodes in 2 days. I think that's what it was. Or maybe it was 2 episodes in 2 days. I'll have to check. All right. Yes, victory. Yeah, so what's new with everyone else? Oh, we got some more comments. Hey, Roltz and Roka, long time no see. Yeah, I do have a water team. Let's see. I got a lightning team, a water team, and a chaos team. I don't know. I guess I could put Suzo on the lightning team, but that'd be a little bit too much lightning. Now, I did experiment with the lightning element a lot more for my teams. I was surprised how well it works. I don't know if anyone knows the deal, what's with lightning, but man, it's actually not a bad element. Yeah, this is kind of nice. I've noticed today that occasionally I'll Jones and go to reach for the vaporizer, but it's actually already very little amounts. Thank God. Yesterday was rough. Yeah, I think a lot of it is just getting over the habit, right? Like I got a habit where I start the show and I pack bowls and I'm ready to go. So then when I start a show, I'm almost like, oh God, I gotta pack a bowl. And then it's like, no, we can actually change our routines. We don't have to do the same thing every fucking time. I think it's the human nature, eh? We like to get into rhythms or patterns. Find something that works and just stick with it. Hey, George, long time no see. Welcome back to the chat. Now, I was thinking we should give George some updates on everything that's happened while he's been gone. I don't know if he's been watching the archive, but yeah, we definitely got some progress. All right, let's summarize some of the progress we got. The campaign. We actually unlocked Epic Mode. So I haven't really tried any of the battles in Epic Mode yet because they're still all locked. But yeah, we got Epic now, so that's pretty epic. Too many epics. What else was the big news? Oh yeah, the dungeon. We beat level 900. So we're already over level 900 in the dungeon. I don't think I'm stuck on this level. Let's try it, eh? Could be stuck on it. Yeah, maybe we are. I probably would have kept playing if we weren't. Oh, I remember. Yeah, wasn't it funny that Zoro was the one that actually beat the dungeons for us? Why? I put him on the team, and the one boss we were fighting, every single person kept hitting Zoro and missing, so it would reflect back and hit them and kill them in one hit. So it was almost like I beat the boss, where it was just like, attack Zoro, dead, attack Zoro, dead, attack Zoro, dead. So I was like, holy shit, that was so lucky, but still it worked. Now, we did boost up Zoro's dodge skill, so I'm sure that's what contributed a little bit to his better success. Holy fuck, man, this battle's hard, eh? Yeah, this whole team is bad. Let's switch it. Now, if anyone's wondering why I had such a fucked up team there, it actually worked. So I was like, what the fuck? But it did work. Not on every level, but some of them. No, the one thing I'm really missing for my team is Agatha. Fuck, man, I wish we had Agatha. Because now when we die, we just die. We can't rejuvenate. So I really wish there was an easier way to get Agatha fragments. Maybe we'll do it today when we do we'll try burning some more scrolls. Fuck, man, everyone's just dying. I hate this level. I'll come back to it later. Son of a bitch. Hey, Suki. Yeah, are we going to ignore or not Suki, Shelly, are we going to ignore the fact that they are level 1300? For which one? Oh yeah, the dungeon. Yeah, that's what I was going to see. What level are they? I didn't even look. Is that? No, level 359 for these. Oh, the power level. Maybe that's what it was, eh? Holy shit. Yeah, that's a high power level. Oh yeah, and the characters. Shelly's right. They're over level 1300. Yeah, isn't it fucked how far I made in the dungeon with such like a low level team? I don't know if anyone thinks it's impressive or not. Maybe other people did it way faster, but for me, I find it pretty impressive. We're beating level 1300 characters. That is fucked. Alright, so what else is new in Canada? A lot of stuff in Canada has pretty much gone back to completely to normal. But the weirdest thing is a lot of Canadians just won't stop protesting. I don't know what it is. Like, they even interviewed some people like, why are you still protesting? Everything's already gone back to normal. And a lot of people are saying that they don't trust the government and they think they're going to do lockdowns and mandates again. So they're already pre-protesting to stop that from happening. So I was like, wow, that's pretty ambitious, but I think it's going above and beyond what I would do. But yeah, sure, not a bad idea, I guess. Yeah, I could totally see the government doing it again. Now that they got away with it once, they'll definitely try it again. Let's hope not. Alright, so what else was there new? Video game stuff. We did the camera gear, batteries, antigen test. Oh yeah, there was one other package that arrived. That was a good one. Now if anyone's wondering if I'm getting carried away from packages, usually what happens is the spring I order a lot of packages. In the summer I don't have time for online shopping. So I usually won't shop again until like October or November for Christmas. So yeah, I'm just saying that now. Watch, I'll probably do it, but no, normally I go in spending habits where a lot of spending in the spring and then not so much throughout the rest of the year. Although I will be spending quite a bit on travel. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. If anyone didn't notice, on my travel trip I was talking about transit and a lot of the different public transit things have changed. And you'll never guess, I found out something that happened in Canada and it actually happened to almost every country in the world. So I don't know if anyone's in other countries, they could comment. There's like a bus company or a transit company based out of Germany. I forget what the name is. German transit company. We'll put bus and see if it comes up. Yeah, Flexbus or Flixbus. I don't know, it sounds like a German name or something. So if anyone's heard of Flixbus before, I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. A new company coming in. Sounds like a good idea. And it turns out what Flexbus is a company that's owned by Germany or some corrupt people in Germany. And they have a long history of scandals. And they showed that the last scandal that they did is they broke all the mandate and lockdown rules, raked in huge profits while everyone else was shut down, and then they used that money to buy out all their company's competition. So that's what they did in Canada. They used the lockdown rules to shut down Greyhound buses, to shut down Megabus. which was Canada's like dirt cheap bus services that were really good, and they shut them down. And isn't it funny, the guy that was shutting them down, like doing these rules to shut our country down, guess what country he's from? Germany. So I'm like, isn't that interesting, right? I'm sure there's no conflict of interest there, right? So anyways, the Flexbus company, what they did is after their German people came to our country and locked our country down, shut our companies down so they all bankrupted, then they bought them out. So I was like, what fuckers, right? Like, I guess I shouldn't hold it too much against them. Maybe they'll be a better bus service, but to me, that sounds really shady, right? To fucking break down all the rules that you set and then fucking take advantage of people and they suffer from the rules that you made. Like, that's fucked. But oh well, hopefully there's some good that comes out of it. Oh yeah, and they were showing the list of countries that Flexbus has done this to. I think it was Spain, Portugal, almost all the northern European countries. I can't remember if they did it to England. They did it to the United States. Even Brazil. I was like, holy fuck, man. Like, usually Brazil is very strict about other companies coming in and fucking their country over. But yeah, they even let them in. So I was like, holy shit. But who knows? Maybe we'll do an update video on that on a travel episode, and we'll discuss if people like the takeover by Flexbus or Flixbus, or if they dislike it. Oh, Shelly's got a good question too. How much did I earn from YouTube over my first year? I was actually just doing my tax documents this week. I'm trying to figure that out. If I had to guess, I think it was around $500 a year. So obviously it's super low right now, but I don't know. For me, just making anything off something I like to do seems amazing. So it even pays for my internet. So I can't say that I'm really that disappointed that I'm not raking in thousands of dollars or whatever, but you never know. Like, if I keep working at it, it's one of those things that grows bigger every day, and unless a lot of people desub, but no, for the most part, it's a growing progress, and I can't get too down in the dumps about not having rapid progress. Some things take time. Although my brother is starting his own YouTube channel, and he's doing it for like a lawn care business, sort of like The Office, sort of like a TV show about what it's like to be at a job. Except instead of being at the office, he's going to show what it's like to be in lawn care. Basically my job, or property maintenance. So yeah, I think it's kind of a neat idea for a YouTube channel. He's getting his hopes up that he's going to get like tens of thousands of subs within a year. And I was like, yeah, it could happen, but just don't get frustrated if it doesn't. Some people, it takes a decade to get their channel going, so yeah, it can take time or it can go quick. You just never know. Holy fuck, man, this is a tough battle. No, and the other thing I fucked up on the taxes with YouTube is one of the questions they ask is if you're in a treaty with the US, and I didn't even know about treaties, so I just put no. And it turned out I was in a treaty with the US, so I could have actually had less tax taken off. So I think I ended up paying more in tax than I was supposed to. And God, if anyone's ever gotten T4 tax documents from the States, God, are they confusing. Compared to the regular documents we get in Canada, it just shows you all the numbers. When I'm looking at the tax form from YouTube, it just says the number and then puts in like a symbol and doesn't actually show what the number is. So I'm like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to determine how much I made if you don't even show me the number? So I guess I'll have to manually go through each pay stub and add them up and see what it came to. Why they can't just put the total somewhere, I don't know. Or they probably did put the total somewhere and I just missed it. Normally when there's some horrible problem, not to be super narcissistic, but it usually is me when there's a bad problem. It's all my fault. Speaking of all my fault, one of the things that was pissing me off in disc golf was I can never hold the disc without it slipping out of my hand, and it's drastically reducing the power and speed. So this week, what I did is I ordered some work gloves that are known for having super good grip for actually carrying stuff. I was like, you know what? Maybe it can hold the disc better. So if anyone's seen a disc before, super slippery. It's almost like putting your finger over ice. It just slides right off. So what did I do? Took the work glove, put it on. hold the disc. Can't slide. I'm like, fucking A. I'll be able to whip this thing like I never whipped it before, but I don't know. I'll probably wait till May to try it out because, yeah, it's really fucking muddy and slippery. I don't want to get injured, so we'll wait a little bit on that. No, and the gloves weren't that expensive. I think I got a whole box of them for like 20 bucks, so it wasn't bad. So hopefully that's it for shopping for the next while. Fuck, man, I think I must have spent like $1,000 this month, so yeah, it was definitely a lot of spending. Gotta cut that out. Now, if anyone's wondering what else is going to be going on with my travel vlog channel, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I've been like really hyped about going to Cancun, Mexico, because my city's offering really cheap flights. Like I can literally fly to Cancun, Mexico for like $100. So I was like, holy shit, man. Sure, it's a small plane, it'll be a rough ride, and there's horrible gang violence there, but I've never seen the ocean before in my life, and I think seeing the ocean in Cancun, like the Mayan Riviera and all that jazz, it's probably a nice place to see it for the first time. So yeah, I'm getting geared up. Did that trip to Toronto, got sick, sort of got that out of my system, and now hopefully we can try longer trips, and if I get sick again, hopefully I won't be too paranoid that, oh fuck, I'm gonna get sick. Because at least I rebounded back from whatever I was sick with really fast. It was like 2 days, maybe 3 days, back to normal. Hey, old Stinger, how's it going? Yeah, so cutting out the weed out of my diet this week, it's going to be rough. I'm thinking I'm just going to take it one day at a time. Instead of like looking at the month end and be like, oh fuck, like 30 days to go. I'll just be like, you know what? We got 1 week. We got 1 week. So I don't get too far ahead. Because it seems like such a daunting task when you're like, oh, a whole month of doing something. But if you can just do it for a week, it seems more reasonable, right? Oh, old Stinger's doing good. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better today. Yesterday, I was fucking rough. Who was it? Steadfast. She was messaging yesterday asking why I wasn't streaming. Or saying that, yeah, it's the weekend, I should do a stream. But I was just fucking drained. Like, I had like bad headaches, total body aches. It wasn't not good. No, withdrawal is pretty fucking serious for weed. Well, I shouldn't say serious. It's not super easy. That's for sure. But hey, if anyone's going through like opioid addictions, fuck man, I'm not joking around. That's a million times worse. Yeah, Steadfast is saying, hopefully we get the heroes we need today. Thanks. Oh, and heroines. Speaking of opioids. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that was a terrible joke. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, get the heroes we need. Yeah, let's hope. If we do the Darwin Lab, or not Darwin Lab, Gene Bank, we got 75 brown scrolls, so we can burn quite a few. Let's try doing a burn right now, see who we get. Ah, trying to quit smoking. Oh, fuck, man. Is quitting smoking one of the hardest things I've done, too? Yeah, the toughest with cigarettes is if I like cigarettes, it's almost impossible to quit it because I'm like, fuck, man, I like it. I'm just going to keep doing it. But I was very, well, fortunate or unfortunate, depending how you look at it. I developed severe migraines from secondhand cigarette smoke, even my own secondhand cigarette smoke. So it literally reached the point where that if I had a cigarette, I felt so awful. So it made it a lot easier to quit, thank God. Well, I shouldn't say it made it a lot easier. It made it easier. Because I was like, fuck, man, if I have this cigarette, I'm going to be in a fucking agony for the whole day with the severe migraine. So that definitely improved the odds of quitting. I don't know, when I was younger, like in my 20s, I could quit smoking drop of a dime. It was like a week, oh, try quitting, done. But then as I got into my like late 30s, even 40s, when I quit smoking cigarettes, it took like a month or even like 3 months. Almost reaching the point of like praying for more strength to quit. So I don't know if it's like your willpower gets weaker as you get older, but dear God, man, quitting smoking when I got older was definitely harder. But then, yeah, then again, once you've got that few weeks under your belt where you don't have the cigarettes in your system anymore and you start noticing you feel better, then yeah, that's when it really makes it easier. It's that the home stretch. Now I got to be careful with cigarettes because sometimes I'll like drink a whole bunch of booze and I'll be like, shit, man, why don't I just have one cigarette? But then if I have that one cigarette, oh man, that sets off a chain reaction. It's like one cigarette turns into, oh, I'll just have two, then I'll just have a couple more, and then next thing you know, you're buying a pack. Ooh, we got some purples. Yeah, that was a weird thing. Like, I don't know if anyone's seen a lot of that Sandy Hook stuff was on the news this week. I can't remember why. But I had never really looked into the Sandy Hook thing before. I know there's been a lot of weird ideas about it, and I was like, fuck it, man. I'm not even going to get involved in that shit because I do enough weird stuff as it is. But some of the guests I had on my podcast, they were talking, yeah, who was it? Not Gary Wayne. Art Olivier. Yeah, Art Olivier was on talking a lot about it. And a lot of the stuff he was saying seemed a little bit weird, but I was like, you know what? Art's really got his finger on the pulse on a lot of different things that I thought were weird, and it turned out he was right. So I was like, you know what? It's like, I'm not going to really make fun of him when he talks weird about Sandy Hook. I think he's more on the lines that, yeah, something weird happened, or like that, either that, I think, what is it, the one theory? People are trying to say that no one actually got hurt, that it was like all fake. And I was thinking, yeah, that one I definitely don't buy into. But the one theory that is kind of strange that makes you wonder is there was a lot of cover-ups about the investigation, right? Like, I don't know if anyone's seen the news about how Sandy Hook unfolded, but the cops went and like arrested a guy that they were convinced was the killer, and it turned out it wasn't even him. So they went on the news, started telling everyone that this was the killer and stuff, and yeah, that guy literally had to go on social media and tell all of his friends and family that, look, I'm not a murderer. CNN's full of shit. So that's what happened. And then I don't know if CNN ended up apologizing to the guy because they tried to frame him for the murders. So that was really weird because I was like, what the fuck? Didn't like the guy kill himself in the shootings? So it's like, why did they think it was another guy? That was so weird. I don't know. I'm sure the investigators probably got a lot more details about the case that we don't. So that's probably why it seems so weird to us. Yeah, and shout out and fucking condolences for all the family and friends of the people that lost loved ones in that. Like, I'm not one of those people that thinks that no one died in it. What I was thinking is that they died and something weird happened with it. Like, obviously it's a horrible shooting spree, but something even more weird about it. Like, I don't know if someone was drugged or what it was, but yeah, there was some weird shit that went on. Oh yeah, and it was on the line of sacrifice. So as soon as it was on the line of sacrifice, I should have been like the ley line of sacrifice. I was like, fuck, man. Yeah, that's probably the weird shit. Oh, it's the picture of me. Or no. That's me in a couple years. I don't know, my hair's going gray quick, so it might be looking like that sooner than later. Now, I'm trying to come to terms with aging. I know it's shocking a little bit, but... Well, the one weird thing that's shocking for me with aging is a lot of times I think about back when I was growing up, like when I was a teenager or even in my 20s, all the hot babes in Hollywood, the musicians, the actresses, all the ones I had really big crushes on. And thank God, when I see an article today about where all these celebrities are today, I don't even recognize most of them. Not that I don't remember who they are, but they've done so much plastic surgery that they don't look anything like they used to. So it kind of put the message in my head. It's like, you know what? When you're going into relationships, trying to like either marry someone or even just dating, it's like you really got to keep that in the back of your mind, right? As hot as they are or as attractive as they are, it's only a matter of time before they're just average looks like everyone else, right? Once you age, it's like, yeah, not everyone's going to be that supermodel forever. So yeah, you really got to be careful that not only are you getting involved with someone that you have the hots for, but you actually like them as a person. Because yeah, once all that beauty's gone and you can't stand hanging around the person, it can be a recipe for disaster, right? Yeah, that's the other thing too. Complaining about getting old seems like such a dumb thing to complain about, especially when you think about all the people that were never that lucky. Like, fuck, man, I've almost lost track of how many of my friends never even lived to see 30. Fuck. It's really sad, but yeah, it's what you gotta remember in life. Everything's not like it is in Hollywood. There's a lot of fucking bad shit that goes down. You gotta be prepared. It's not gonna be a fucking fairy tale, that's for sure. Yeah, like that one girl I was talking to about why she was never getting married. She's like, oh God, she doesn't want to get stuck with some idiot. And I was like, you know what? If you got stuck with someone, you're actually lucky, right? Because a lot of times people find the love of their life. What happens? The person gets cancer and dies. Or they get into a car accident. So I was like, dear God, man, you're complaining about being stuck with someone forever? It's like a lot of people would consider that lucky if you actually get to spend forever with someone. And there's always divorce. I don't understand why women are so concerned about getting attached or stuck with some idiot. Just get a divorce. It's not like we're in medieval times where you get like drowned alive if you tried to get a divorce. Holy shit, up to 8 likes already. Ah, Shelly says she's going to try installing Clone Evolution and see that new place they added. Yeah, just don't get your hopes up yet because, yeah, you could start installing the game, but that new place they added isn't finished yet. It's one of those things, they put it on the board and they're still updating it. I can't remember when they did that with the pet center. How long did it take before they actually opened it? They only cost $700. Wow. Trying to remember what I was talking about. Alright, so this beard guy, looks like we're actually going to take him down this episode. Holy shit, and we're winning rewards to boot. Look how many we got there. Holy fuck. Did we get those? Excuse me. Yeah, so everyone on my team who let me slay the boss, thank you. That was really nice. Oh, the divorce is $700. Yeah, so I guess if you didn't want to lose $700, you could face being stuck with some idiot. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of a difference between men and women when we're looking for relationships. Maybe it depends with age as well. But I guess younger women would be more looking for providers so that they don't get screwed having kids and having no way to support them. Where guys that are more likely, yeah, they don't really have that worry. The government will look after the kids for us. Boom! Alright, let's just skip this. We've seen enough of that. I've seen enough of my future self. Now, if anyone's wondering, I'm going to give the beard a good trim and hair a good cut again. I know it's growing out of fucking control. I don't know what it is. Like, I kind of hoped that my hair would slow down on growing as I got older, but no. It seems like I grow hair, more of it, and faster than ever. Ugh. No, and then always the irony too. I keep growing hair everywhere over my entire body, except for the top of my head. That's why I think every time people say there's no God or there's no creator, when you see sense of humor like that, could you really think it happened by accident? God's like, hey, how would you like to have hair everywhere except for your head? No, there's one guy on Facebook, he was all upset because he grew his hair really long and he started going bald. And he's like, fuck, I gotta shave it, it looks too thin. And after he shaved it, man, he actually looked a lot better than he did with hair. It's kind of funny how that works. A lot of times the guys that are going bald, they don't realize they actually look better without hair. I know looks are obviously going to be, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder, right? But it's funny how many people freak out about going bald, and then once they are, they're like, holy shit, it's actually better. Now, I think the one thing that I love about not having hair the most is summertime. Because I used to have long hair down to the end of my back when I was like a hippie in high school playing hacky sack all day. But yeah, that fucking hair was a nightmare for always having to comb it, brush it, washing it all the time. Fuck, man, when you're bald, you can just be like washcloth, done, washed. It's a lot easier than combing and all that shit. Oh, and the temperature. God, is hair ever hot? It's like having a bald head in a fucking summer heat wave. It feels like a miracle. And I know, I guess with Will Smith's wife and losing her hair, that was a weird thing. Did anyone notice? Like, everyone's talking about Will Smith and that whole incident and how his wife had that disease or whatever. I was like, what the fuck is that disease, right? So I looked it up. What is it, C disease or something? Celia or something like that? But anyways, I looked it up, and it's basically, what is it, bald patches. So it's not like a disease that it's like killing you or something. They said it's like an autoimmune disease where your hair falls out in certain patches. So that was the weird part. Everyone's like, oh, you should feel so sorry for her because she has this horrible disease. I thought they meant a disease that was lethal, that she was dying from it or something. Not to make fun of like Appalachia or whatever it's called, but I didn't think of it as that serious, just losing your hair. And then some people are saying, well, women look at hair as like a much bigger part of their body to lose, almost like losing a finger or something, but I don't know, you could still just wear a wig, right? Like, women with wigs, I don't notice any difference between a woman with a wig or real hair. So I don't know, when women freak out about going bald, it's like, why? You can just put on a wig. And it's even socially acceptable. Like, if a guy puts on a wig or a toupee, everyone will laugh at him. If a woman wears a wig, does anyone care? I don't think anyone does. Maybe a few people do. Oh, that's what it is. Altstinger's right. Alopecia, or however you say that. So yeah, there was a fact checker thing going around on the internet, if anyone's seen. They're like, just because the sponsor of the Oscars is Pfizer, and they're selling a new Appalachia drug, or however you say that, it doesn't mean that the whole thing was staged. So I think, yeah, there might be some truth to that, is maybe the whole thing with Will Smith wasn't staged. It just all happened to make like a great commercial to sell the drug for the sponsor of the show. But the fact checker said that's not true, because the drug from Pfizer isn't for sale for a few more months. So I was like, okay, so because it's not for sale right now, that means that it's not true? Oh yeah, and there was the news too that Will Smith resigned from the Academy, which I didn't even know the Academy was a thing, right? I was thinking like if you're an actor, you're automatically in the Academy because you're making movies. And it's an award show that gives out awards for movies, right? So I didn't think there was like a team academy that you had to join in order to even be eligible. So yeah, I'm learning new things about the Oscars all the time. Oh, did I happen to see any Odyssey 2 stuff on my retro adventures? Oh, Odyssey 2, I don't even know what that is, but I think I kind of remember hearing about it. I'll have to check it. So maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I'll have to get back on that one. I don't think so, though. I haven't actually gone into any retro gaming stores in Toronto. That's a good idea, because I just checked out people that were selling games, not the actual stores. So yeah, next time we do a road trip gaming to Toronto, let's go and check out a few game retro stores. That's a great idea. We'll see if they got the Odyssey too. No, one of the main reasons, autoimmune diseases are becoming more prevalent. I fucking actually heard this from my doctor, like the legitimate doctor's office. And you know what they said? They run a clinic. So like they're the local clinic where everyone in the city can go into the clinic if they don't have a family doctor. So what happened is they had to start screening patients. You know when they're screening people for the virus, they're like, oh, have you had any cough or any like things that are associated with that? Guess what they were screening patients for at the clinic in my city, I'd say about 4 years ago? They started, the first question they screen everyone with have you changed your diet at all lately? Have you become vegan? And then when I went to the doctor's office, I was like, why the fuck are you asking me if I went vegan, right? And you know what they said? They said that 90% of the patients they see on a daily basis are side effects from malnutrition. I was like, what the fuck? We live in North America and people are dying or getting side effects from malnutrition? And then the doctor explained why. It's because of the veganism. Like, obviously, some people can do veganism and it works great for them, apparently. But, like, 99.9% of people, their body breaks down. Like, it's a horrible thing to put yourself through, fasting, if you do it too long. Obviously, Ramadan, month of fasting, arguably is good for you. But once you start pushing that into, like, years or even a decade of fasting, right? That's where the doctor's like, you know what? We got to start screening people because we have so many people that are getting sick from trying veganism. That's the first question they had to ask. Yeah, and if you look at the diseases that veganism is associated with, Appalachia, who is one of the biggest vegan promoters in Hollywood, the Smith family. So it's like literally the veganism arguably could be the cause of the disease that everyone feels so sorry for her for having. It's like, obviously, yeah, I feel bad for anyone with any disease too, but when you start doing like really crazy, well, no, I shouldn't say crazy, very radical, freaking extreme diets, and it's having negative effects on your health, it's like, at what point do you say, like, you know what, maybe you should really just try a balanced diet and get your body like back recovered? Instead of like sugarcoating the truth and be like, you know what, maybe you could just take some more supplements. And then all your hair falling out, oh, just take some more supplements. And that was the one weird thing I noticed when I went vegan just to test it out. The whole supplement thing is such a fucking, it's a circle. Because they say, oh, if you're vegan, you can take supplements to make up the 15 essential nutrients you can't get from any plant products. Like creatine, the one responsible for hair. So the vegan answer is, oh, just take the supplements. So that way you get what you're missing from the food, right? So I'm like, okay, let's try that. So I take the supplement bottle and let's see, do I even got one here? What does it say? It says must be taken with food, not a meal replacement. So I looked up the supplement bottles. Why do they say that you're supposed to take a supplement with food? And guess why? Because supplements can only absorb into the human bloodstream if it's mixed with the animal fat. So I was like, what the fuck? You're telling people to take supplements to substitute what they're not getting from animal fats. And it says right on the fucking bottle for the supplements that you can't take it without animal fat or it doesn't work. So I was like, what the fuck? It's like such a weird circle, right? Like, oh, you can be vegan, just take the supplements. But if you take the supplements, you need to take it with milk. Or some other animal fat. So what a fucked up cycle that is. So yeah, that's why we start to see all these people getting all these weird autoimmune diseases. If you ask my doctor's office why that's happening, it's because of the drastic change in her diet put forward by the people in Hollywood who are trying to push forward the global reset, the carbon agenda, stop eating meat so that rich people can fly on jets everywhere and we can stay home forever, right? That's the one thing that really pissed me off about the lockdowns the most. I wouldn't even care about the lockdowns if it applied to everyone equally. As soon as they said, oh, this person's essential, this person's non-essential, it's like, fuck man, that's discrimination. I do not support that. Holy fuck, is this a long battle. There we go. Now, for everyone that tries veganism and it works for them, it's like, all the power to you. I'm so happy for you, but I don't know, so many people, like especially the ones at my doctor's office, it's fucking deadly, right? Like, cutting all the fucking essential nutrients your body needs to rebuild out of your diet, that's fucked. Not to say it's always bad, like, yeah, like fasting short period of time, maybe it actually is good, but fuck, man, it makes me wonder. Now, the funny thing is, people are like, oh, you're so anti-vegan, vegan. It's like, actually, I actually like veganism to a point where if like you do it for like a week, maybe 2, pushing like a month, like Ramadan, it's great. I actually don't mind fasting. I actually like it. But I'm just against pushing it too far, right? I don't know if anyone heard the bad news, but one of the most popular YouTubers who promotes veganism made shitloads of money off promoting veganism on YouTube. What happened is she did an interview, and she did it with another podcaster, and the podcaster's like asking her questions like, so how's veganism going for you and all this? And guess what her response was? She took veganism to the next level where she doesn't eat. And then the podcaster didn't disagree. He's like, you know what? Maybe you're doing a fast and it's good for you. And then he should have like realized when she started to say that she hadn't eaten in months. So I was like, holy fuck, right? She started going on and on about how her body feels so light and she's like feeling blissful. And I'm thinking, you know what? You're dying, right? That's why you're feeling lighter and blissful. But yeah, sadly, that's what happened. A couple weeks later, after that YouTuber was talking to her going, oh yeah, you're doing great. Not eating for months, that's perfect. You're fasting. But guess what happened? She died. And then everyone's like, oh my God, maybe she died from something else. It's like, I'm pretty sure not eating for months actually contributed to her death. Could be wrong, but now I feel bad for the guy that did the interview, but literally, man, he's another YouTuber that's trying to profit off veganism. He was literally sitting and talking to a woman who is saying that she's not eating anymore, and he agreed with it so that he could make money off YouTube. Like, I feel bad for him in a way because, yeah, a lot of people probably have family and kids, and they got to try to find a way to support them any way they can. But, dear God, when you start killing other people to make money, that's when it's like, holy fuck, right? Now, arguably, maybe he didn't know that not eating was going to kill her. He actually thought that fasting for like months at a time was going to work. It was just a cleanse. That's one of the things that really got me with the veganism long term, is when I started to research the people in California, like the gurus who preach that you can go vegan for years on end. Guess what they say? They say if your hair falls out, that's actually a sign that the vegan diet is working, because hair is a toxin that needs to be cleansed from the body. They actually say this. And then guess what? Teeth. They say if you go vegan and all your teeth rot out, fall out, they say it's a good thing because vegans believe that teeth are also a toxin that needs to be cleansed from the body. Then when they got into the menstrual cycle thing, I was like, holy fuck. A lot of women that stop being vegan, it's because they need a lot of iron to constantly menstruate, right? So if you're not getting iron sufficient amounts from like eating liver, like, I don't know if anyone's had bad menstrual cramps. Not that I can talk from experience, but people that I know that have cured their bad menstrual cramps, they started eating liver. And what happened, it reboosted the supply of like vital nutrients that they need to menstruate without pain. So yeah, if you're ever starting to get menstrual cycles that are that bad, not to offer medical advice, some people swear as soon as you start replenishing your body's nutrients with like liver or high nutrient dense diets, you recover from it. So yeah, that was the other thing. The vegan community in California, they're actually telling young women that menstrual cycles are dirty and a toxin that needs to be cleansed from the body. So they said that if you stop menstruating, it's a sign that the veganism is working. I was like, holy fuck, man, are you seriously telling people this? And there's lineups of people. Oh, the vegans, they're so right about everything. And it's like, holy shit, this is like a borderline cult. Now, not to say that all cults are bad, maybe some cults are good, but... So yeah, when I see the damage that veganism has done to my friends and family, I'm actually very vocal about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I get it that veganism can work for some people, but I'm just one of those people that I'm not going to hide it. I'm willing to say that, yeah, veganism is a death sentence for a lot of people. And that's the whole thing where we get into the globalist economy, the elites that want to shut down all the businesses. They want to build back better by forcing all the poor people to stay home and never leave their house. All rich people and celebrities go on vacations in jets and in stadiums while everyone else has to stay home. That's where this fucking vegan ideology comes from. So I don't know, like, sure, people are making veganism work, all the power to them, but I'm definitely not going to say that veganism is perfect, that's for sure. Now, what diet is? The main reason people keep going carnivore, we keep going vegan, we keep going vegetarian, everyone in life is still looking for the perfect diet, and no one's found it yet. So we got to give vegans credit. At least they're looking for some new alternative to find the solution to the perfect diet. But oh God, it seems risky. Oh, what was the other vegan couple that had a rough go? Who was that Aquaman guy? What is it? Jason something or other? But anyways, his wife is one of those vegan activists. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that took the hormones out of the relationship. So once you don't have hormones, like, you lose like half of the relationship's purpose, where you're no longer having sex, right? I know some people are like, oh, I'm vegan, I have sex all the time, but it's like, I don't know, if you compare it to someone who has animal proteins, they're probably going to have like 100 times more sex. Not to say that it's impossible for vegans to have sex, but yeah, once your body's not physically functioning properly, it makes not having sex way harder, right? No pardon the pun. Oh yeah, Fatty Kuka, how's it going? Momoa. I can't remember, is Fatty Kuka the one from Ukraine, or is that a different viewer? Now, I was trying to get some more updates about what's happening from actual people in Ukraine or Russia. Because I don't know if anyone's noticed in the news, but well, maybe it's just me. I haven't really watched the updates on the news in at least a few weeks. So I really don't have any idea what's been happening with Russia and Ukraine, if they're still fighting or what. Oh yeah, and the other vegan, they called them the vegan couple. They made same thing, like arguably millions of dollars off promoting veganism to gullible children. And possibly ruining their health for the rest of their life. But anyways, when they made all that money off promoting veganism, one thing that everyone kept saying is this vegan couple, if one of them decides not to go vegan, that's probably going to be the end of their YouTube channel and their marriage. And guess what happened? It's been over a year, and they haven't, almost a year, and they haven't posted anything on social media. They just dropped off the face of the earth. So after like 10 years of promoting veganism to kids every day, over and over, just raking in the money, what happened? They just vanished. So everyone's in the comments is like, where did you go? How come you just stopped responding? How come you're not putting videos out anymore? If I had to guess, one of them isn't vegan anymore. Now they said the one hitch to the veganism is if someone tries meat. Because they said they can keep people vegan longer and longer and longer and longer as long as they can keep them from trying meat. Because they said, who was it, Anna Hathaway? She was like one of the big Hollywood people that was promoting veganism. She said the whole thing fell apart as soon as she tried salmon. Because she said, oh God, it's like I've been vegan for years and everything's going great. My body's fine. And then she tried some salmon and she was like, holy shit. My body was in ruins. I feel actually better now. And I was like, you know what? Like, that's the thing. If people don't try eating meat to see how it affects what their symptoms are from veganism, they'll never know. They might think, oh, I just have autoimmune disease. I can start taking all these pharmaceutical drugs and just not eat meat. Like, I don't know, for me, if I was forced to take handfuls of pharmaceutical pills or just eat a steak, it's like, what the fuck, right? Nah, sorry to be talking so much about food for anyone going through Ramadan. I know it can't be easy. I'm actually fasting right now too, so I hear you. Shut up with the food. All right, so yeah, we looked through all that already. No, I'm not going to fast like crazy today. After we finish filming, I'm going to go upstairs, have a bowl of cereal, just so I get a decent amount of animal fats and proteins. And then I'll probably cut back on food for maybe eat a light dinner tonight. Eat a steak, you say that like it's a question. Yeah, you know what was the longest? I actually went about 10 years without ever having a steak because I was like kind of in a POV situation where I really didn't have money to buy food at all, let alone a steak. So I actually didn't try steak for like 10 years. And I was like, God, I can't even remember like what eating a steak is like. So you know what happened? The one day I actually ate a steak after like 10 years of not eating it. I got a fucking huge rush of energy. Like I had just like injected steroids. Not that I know what that feels like, but so I was like, holy shit, man. It's like just eating steak was like the biggest rush of energy I've ever experienced. Just from declining myself from it for like 10 years. Yeah, boy, did that steak taste good too. I was like, man, I could cook that steak any way. Could have been rare, could have been bloody, could have been overdone. It didn't matter. It was just fucking steak and it tasted amazing. Yeah, when did I lose my hair? That's a good question. I think I lost my hair when I was about 32, and I was doing a lot of the fasting in my 20s. No, I actually come from a long lineage of bald guys. Actually, all my forefathers on both sides of the family are super bald. So the odds of me losing my hair was probably like 99%. Didn't really matter what I ate. Now, my dad actually went the route of like hair grafts because he was so worried that he would look funny without hair. And who knows, maybe he does look funny without hair. Never seen him with a shaved head, but I don't know. If I was facing like thousands of dollars in bills to get hair grafts or just shave my head. Now, the only time I'll go to the exception where I spend a lot of money on my looks is when it comes to dentists. And the main reason I do that isn't even really for the vanity aspect, which is a part of it, but it's also your teeth and your gums and everything is a big part of your whole body's health. So if you neglect your teeth and your gums and all that, you could have other serious health problems that result. So that's why I will splurge when it comes to like, yeah, I'll spend thousands of dollars on the dentist, but I'm definitely not going to spend thousands of dollars on hair grafts or liposuction or some other crazy shit. And to each their own. I know some people, their whole like physical appearance is everything about their personality, which I kind of feel bad for a lot of women that get caught in that situation. There was actually a beauty contestant winner in our city. She used to go to my school. After she lost her looks, she ended up committing suicide, right? So it's quite a shocker, right? Like that's why you got to be careful that even if you are really good looking, don't base your whole life just on your looks, right? Because it's only temporary. Holy, Shelly says she not only got the account back, but she started playing Clone Evolution daily. The only advice, not that I'm offering professional gaming advice, try not to do too many Clone Evolutions at once. Because that's actually when Shelly was first quit the game, like months and months ago, whenever it was. I was worried she was going to quit the game because she had multiple accounts going. I was thinking any video game or pretty much anything in life, if you do too much of it, is when you get sick of it faster, right? So I was like, oh shit, Shelly's going to quit the game. She has 2 or 3 accounts going. Because it ends up taking over your whole life, and then you're like, fuck it, I need my normal life back, and you cut the whole thing off. So yeah, I try to do that as well. Try to pace myself so I'm not doing too much of something. I know it's not always easy. Yeah, like even when I was doing the Clone Evolution daily streams, that's when it started to get to me where I was thinking of quitting the game too. Because I'm like, fuck man, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And you just want something different, right? Monotony is good for some things and other things not so much. Shelly has 30 accounts. Or less. Now, my main thing about having so many different accounts is I normally can't remember that many passwords. Like even the passwords I do have for like Google and Facebook and stuff, I have them all written down because I can't remember them. So if I had like that many accounts, oh god, that'd be a lot to keep track of. I even tried doing 2 email addresses for a while. Couldn't do it. I can't keep up with 2. I really only have the time for 1, and I even fall behind on that. No, the other thing, sadly, since my uncle's passed, I'm starting to adjust to having a lot more free time than I used to. And it's like, it's a weird thing. Like literally, like ever since my uncle came to move in with us after my grandpa died, that was like 20 years ago, right? So basically I've had no free time for 20 years and I got very accustomed to it. So now that I'm starting to get free time, well, having free time more than ever, it's a weird sensation. I'm almost thinking like now I can start to relate to when someone says they're bored. It's like I haven't been bored in like decades, but I definitely could see it happening now if I stop doing other stuff. I can't imagine being bored. To me, I've got a list of projects that's like thousands of pages long and I want to finish them all so bad that I really can't ever be bored. Yeah, it must be a night. I remember being a kid and being bored. Yeah, that was kind of a fun sensation. You just really have nothing to do. Man, that'd be sweet. All right, so yeah, if Shelly wants to add me again on the friends list, I don't know if I can do it. I'm hoping we can. Get her, sending her some more flowers, get her back in the game, or get her some good items again in the game. Oh yeah, if you want to do that arena thing where we help you reach to beat the objectives, we could probably do that again. I haven't done that in ages, like helping another player, so that'd be fun. Now, isn't that a weird sensation though? Like, any young people that are watching the show, it's like, have you ever thought that? It's like, if you fast forward your life 20 years from the age you are now, almost every single person, like every movie star, every actor, every singer, they're all going to look so different that you won't even recognize them. And it's funny, as a kid, it's like you obsess over like how good looking all these celebrities are. And then you start to like portray their entire existence as just being good looking. And then yeah, as soon as they're not, it's like, holy shit, what a shocker. Now I think what it is too is the movie star thing is what gets me. Especially when I see movie stars that, man, I thought they were so young. God, does time fly? I always thought that was funny when you hear old people talk about how fast time goes. I had no idea. It was way worse than I ever imagined. Oh, fuck, did we die there when I wasn't watching? I think we did. Did I kill one of my good teams? Yeah, we did. Fuck. Oh, well, I don't think we're going to beat that team with anyone anyway, so. Oh, well. Or maybe I could swap Zoro in here. Let's try that. Because if they hit Zoro with a powerful attack and he dodges it... Oh, fuck, I forgot to put it on regular battles. That's the problem. Alright, there was something else I wanted to check. Yeah, George says if he could go bald, he would just shave it too. Oh yeah, that's the one thing. I kind of noticed that. You never really see too many First Nations people that are bald, right? Is that even possible? I don't know. To be fair, I really only know a handful of First Nations people that live in my city. And yeah, they have very thick hair. Alright, so what else do we got to do today's episode? I was thinking about cloning this guy up, but I don't think I actually have him. I got him mixed up with some other mustache guy. Yeah, we got this guy. Is it just me, or does he look a lot like the other guy? No, we don't have any other... Well, we got that mustache guy. That mustache... Fuck, man, there's a lot of mustache guys. Yeah, we definitely don't got that one. Because I was thinking, yeah, we could just clone him up, but we don't have him. I have to remember, he's got that half moon on his head. Oh, and the other shit show, we actually cloned up a gold Theodora just a few days ago. So I was like, fuck, man, if we would have waited and cloned her up, we could have gotten extra 2 Vibram tokens. Oh, well. Or if we would have created a red Anubis. I'll have to remember that. When I'm creating the gold and red heroes, maybe I should wait to do it on the event days. Just in case they happen to show up on the event. And then I'll be like, oh, fuck, then I don't have to make that mistake again. Now, that's a funny thing. What was I going to say now? Totally got distracted. Oh, yeah, the funny thing is we've been raking in the Hunger Games rewards. Oh, and we got a time for another bet. It's See You Later versus Takahan, or Chan. So, I don't know who to bet here. What do the viewers think? Should we go with the tried and true bet method of See You Later? He does win like 90% of the time. But I find every time it's a battle between See You Later and Takahan, fuck man, does Takahan win every time I bet on See You Later. Huh, yeah, isn't that something? That reminds me of the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel was, I liked how it talked about that each type of people that are all over the world are actually like the missing puzzle pieces to finish the whole puzzle. Some people are good at one thing and others get good at others, and if everyone works together. So who knows, maybe we could take some of the genes from First Nations people and cure baldness. Not that it's a disease. Well, I guess technically it is in Will Smith's wife's condition, but yeah, that's interesting. I never thought of that. Yeah, flip a coin or take... Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to go with See You Later. I don't know, we went with Takahan last time and See You Later won. So I bet you we'll go with See You Later this time and Takahan will win, but let's do it either way. And if we win, we'll have enough to buy a new chest. Nothing like getting your hands on a new chest. Yeah, so I'm going to do a retro episode for console unboxings. I've literally got, like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 consoles to unbox. Some of them are the same. We just got duplicates so that we could sell them. But, yeah. And if anyone wants to get their hands on restored Intellivision gear and they're in Canada, just let me know. I could probably hook you up with the deal. Unless you're able to get it cheaper than I can, but I'm going all the way to Toronto and getting some of the cheapest deals in the province, so I should be able to sell it pretty cheap. Alright, so we got the limited event, dungeons. Let's see the daily tasks. Oh, we got to consume the hero. Let's do that. Yeah, I still can't believe that with the whole Oscar thing. Everyone talked about Will, everyone talked about the hitting, and everyone talked about his wife's disease. But no one talked about what was causing his wife's disease, and was it related to all the propaganda that they're pushing with these drugs. Yeah, it's funny how all those things connected together like a puzzle forming together, but a lot of people just saw the individual pieces. They didn't see the whole puzzle. Oh shit, we actually got enough purples to do a draw. Let's do one. Oh, we reached the cap. Oh, that's right, because we're supposed to train. Oh yeah, the Naked HD thing. Alright, so Naked HD, we do have some kids in the chat, so try to keep your clothes on, alright? Now, just to clarify, if any kids are watching, this is a bad example, Naked HD. We keep bad examples around. We don't want to get rid of all the bad examples, because that's actually what we do in Canada a lot, is we get rid of all the bad examples, and then people are wondering why everyone starts acting bad. It's like, well, we don't have any more examples of what not to do. Not to make fun of it, but usually like people like me that spend their whole life like partying and basically going broke, not having a family, it's kind of like you don't hide people like me, because it's almost good for people to see, like, yeah, being partying and having fun all the time. Sure, it seems good when you're young, but as you get older, it can catch up with you pretty damn quick. Sad but true. And not to say that, yeah, people that party, or you should look down on them or anything, but to each their own. You just got to keep in mind that, yeah, I know that Naked HD is just a bot. Now, I always hope that they're a hot babe trying to strip for me, but I think that dream is gone. Yeah, Chris Rock, you gotta hand it to him. Like, I think it's probably because he offends a lot of people, and he's hoping for forgiveness when he offends them, so that's why he'll forgive others. It's kind of like the Christian thing, right? Like, if you make a lot of mistakes, it's not such a bad idea to be a Christian, because at least you can get forgiven for it, right? Oh, I never knew that either. First Nations people usually have a different blood, and that they can be universal donors. Oh yeah, that's right, because what is it, A type, B type, O type? What is it, O type is the one that can be shared with everyone, I think? Can't remember. Yeah, that's the one thing that really makes it weird when people talk about how each culture originated from Africa at some point. I don't really know that would be, well, I guess it could be true, but it seems so weird that everyone's actually got like different blood even. It's like, that's fucked. But who knows? A lot of my gravity well research shows that if you take animals, plants, even people, and you put them in a different gravity well field, it'll affect them. And how many different ways it affects them can make them age faster or slower, can cause mutations. So who knows, like maybe really people could have independently evolved everywhere on the earth at the same time, or roughly the same time, just because of the gravity well field at the time. All right, so what else are we going to get here? Yeah, A, O, and B are the mutations that didn't jump to the Americas. Some of my family was telling me that the Rh negative stuff, but I was like, I don't even know if that is a real blood type. I always hear about it in like the hippie circles talking about Rh negative blood or something. I was like, fuck man, I've only heard of A, B, and O. There's probably a few others, but I don't know. Oh shit, Steadfast had to receive a lot of blood after an accident. Well, I'm glad you recovered. So yeah, actually it happened to my dad. He was going in for surgeries. Remember I tell him he goes for a lot of surgeries. But anyways, he went for this one surgery to get his jaw broken so that he could like change the shape of his face. And then part of the surgery didn't go well. So he started to bleed to death. And he actually bled to death so much that they replaced all of his blood. I was like, all of it? And he's like, yeah, they actually had to bring in so much blood that he didn't have any original blood left. I was like, is that even possible? But yeah, luckily there are people that donate blood. I don't know why in Canada they just don't buy the blood like the US does. Because they always have those commercials on TV. They're like, oh, can people just donate more? Can they just donate more? I'm like, fuck, if you need donations that bad, just offer money for it. You know, people lined up around the block to sell it. Oh, a negative is the Rh negative. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Jehovah's Witness. Isn't it neat how, like, different religious beliefs sometimes actually go right into the medical practices? All right, so the game crashed. We'll have to reload it. I'll run the Vaporizer commercial. I'll be right back. All right, where is that? What the fuck? Boy, the game is loading slow today. Come on, game. Holy shit, it just doesn't want to load today. It's like still at 0%. What the fuck? Oh, there it finally started to load. Yeah, we'll just go back to the game screen. Right, not sure what was happening. Oh, there we go. Finally the game's back. No, when it crashed there, it just didn't want to load. It was stuck at 0 for like almost a minute. Alright, so we'll come back, and what are we going to try next? I think the only thing we really got left, oh yeah, is burning some scrolls and creating a new hero. So that'll be fun. So let's do that, and we'll burn this purple right when we get back from the sponsor, or no, yeah, sponsor message.
Today's purple scroll burn is brought to you by Crunk. Crunk. It'll fuck you up.
Alright, we can actually remember the button. Suki, Dan, Jim, Ray, Travis, and everyone at Patreon. Thanks a million. Alright, Society 6, finishing quick, my specialty, t-shirts, bed sheets, both bought by the ladies. I still haven't hooked up my 3D printer, well behind on that, but we're going to try to get a new store going soon. Hido TV, pay to watch videos, swag bucks to shop, GameKit to try games, and free Bitcoin. It's that wallet system for crypto. And just keep in mind, with crypto, it's very dangerous, so only get involved with what you can afford to lose. And just make sure you follow all the regional laws, including the laws for the virtual mate sex machine. It's for adults and men only. But if ladies need one, they know who to call. $10 off, 150 or more with the coupon code LYNBS. That's LYNBSN. And if any kids are watching, remember, adults only. PG-13 for this show. All right, let's see. I think we can go back to the center screen. All right, let's do the clone draw. No, I actually did add a PG-13 warning to the beginning of my show. I started to feel bad about it. I was like, you know what? Too many kids are tuning in, and maybe their parents don't know that they're watching a PG-13 show, so I actually added it in there. Genghis Khan. Now, some people are like, oh, you shouldn't make a show and you're going to corrupt kids. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a pretty bad example. I get it. But I think a lot of kids might actually see this and be like, you know what? Seeing a bad example might actually change their mind for the better about doing too much partying. Hopefully. If anyone sees me living in my mom's basement at almost 50 years old and they think it's a great plan. I shouldn't say, like, as much as I make fun of living with family, I know a lot of people make fun of it. You look at, like, families getting closer together, it's not actually that bad of a thing, right? I know it's more of a Western, or I guess, yeah, Western society thing where we shun families a lot. It's like, oh, you want to have a family? That's bad for carbon. But yeah, that was the other thing. You see in the United States how they're having those big debates about laws, teaching kids about gender politics and all that stuff at a really young age, like 5 years old, teaching them about like stuff that you would think you'd wait till they're at least teenagers or closer to it. So anyways, someone brought up a great point. Almost like 99%, well, maybe not that much, a high percentage of the people that are fighting these laws, which are indoctrinating kids to have like really weird beliefs, well, different beliefs at a very young age. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but yeah, they started to realize that the people that are fighting for all these law changes to affect kids, you know why they're doing it? I never even realized. Is normally when you're a family and you have kids, if you want to indoctrinate someone to your belief system, you can. Because you have kids, right? You can be like, fuck, I want my ideals to go on to a future generation of people. I want them to believe what Lelanders believe. So technically, all the people that have this idea that families are bad and that our kids are bad, they can't teach it to anyone. They can't force it on a future generation because their family line ended. So the only way they can force their arguably twisted belief system on others is if they do it to other people's kids. They can't do it to their own because they don't have any. I was thinking, isn't that such a weird thing, right? Like, the people that are trying to make the laws for kids don't even have kids themselves. So it's kind of funny, eh? I think it's a very telling sign of our society. Cousins of cousins of cousins. Yeah, you're also very lucky to live with family when you compare to some people, like they say, if you end up in jail, then you're living with a whole bunch of people that are complete strangers. And God, that'd be like a lot worse, especially if one of them's a murderer or you can't drop the soap around them in the shower. It's going to be a rough situation, a real pain in the butt. Oh, man. So yeah, we're lucky if you can actually live with family that you can trust to some degree, more than you could trust other strangers. I don't know, to be honest, I have some trust issues with family as well, but man, oh man. All right, so, oh yeah, we were going to burn that scroll. I totally got distracted there. Or no, we did burn it. We got Genghis Khan. I actually remembered. And that's sweet. I like Genghis Khan. Yeah, childless adults, as much as, yeah, it is kind of nice to not have kids, that is the one problem with it, right? If you want to train someone to know everything that you know, it's not really going to be like some random stranger is going to be like, you know what, you can teach me everything you know. The whole mentor system. If you really don't have kids, you can't really pass anything you know on to the future. Everything you know will just end. Unless there's like a book that you release or maybe videos. So I guess there is other ways than just having kids, but yeah, that is definitely a culture shock to like a lot of people that don't have kids and they want to push their ideas onto children, but they don't have any. So it's like, what do? They have to go down to the school board and try to force their ideas onto other people's kids. It's kind of a fucked up situation, but that's the most dangerous thing. Like, if I ever had kids, I think the one deal breaker would be I would not want to have kids with a woman who's just going to ditch the kids into daycare. Like, if the kids are going to get raised by strangers, then there's no real point in having them. That's kind of how I look at it. I know in Canada, they're really going hardcore with it. They're like, we're going to take trillions of dollars from the taxpayers, pump it into this daycare system where every parent is just like dumping their kids off at this daycare center and they teach them all this twisted ideologies and they literally never see their parents. Like, the kids stay in daycare, then they go to school, then they come home and they go to bed. Then they wake up and then they go back to school and daycare and then they go back to bed. So literally, like, kids are almost spending no time with their actual parents. And when you look at history, this was actually a problem in World War II. They called it the Hitler Youth. And what the Nazis would do is take all the kids away from the parents, teach them these weird, twisted ideals, and then when the kids went back to their parents, they turned on their parents, right? It was really a fucked situation. So we see it unfolding in Canada. The same thing. They're trying to take people's kids away and teach them to hate their parents. It's a fucked up system, man. But I look at the prophecy where everything's supposed to turn the opposite, and it kind of makes sense then. Because I'm like, oh, that's why. Everything is so fucked up now. Now, obviously, there's a lot of advantages to not having kids. You can party more. You can save money more. But a lot of disadvantages as well. Yeah, like sometimes I think, God, if I only would have had a teenage son at this point when it comes to disc golf, I could go and play disc golf with someone. Because, yeah, I don't know if anyone's played disc golf alone. It's just not really as fun. I actually played disc golf alone for like 2 summers, and it got to the point where I couldn't even do it anymore. I was like, what the fuck? I'm just not enjoying it anymore. I guess technically you could always adopt someone. Hey, there's Shelly. We were just talking about Shelly. Shelly's alt active, had great fortune. She drew the immunization chip. So congratulations, Shelly. Oh, she also got the enzymes. Wow. Alright, yeah, let's go to the friends list thing and see if we can free open a spot for Shelly now that she's back in the game. Excuse me. No, if anyone's trying to add me on Facebook and all that, don't try. Especially if you're a kid. I'm trying not to add kids to my Facebook because, yeah, that's a little bit weird to say the least. But yeah, if you want to add me on friends in the game, I don't mind that. Alright, so we got someone gone for 10 days, 36 minutes. This 10-day person, holy shit, can you imagine reaching level 364 and then just quitting for 10 days? I can barely quit for a few hours. Oh, potato memes. He's been gone for 11 days. Well, we'll cut him some slack. He usually comes back pretty quick. All right, Dimitri, Regal, 2 days, 8 hours, 42 minutes. All right, so I think we can. We'll drop that one guy that's gone for 10 days. Who is it? DeBleu. And yeah, hopefully if Shelly's able to add me as a friend, we can get her back on the list. Hook her up with some flowers. And yes, oh God, do we ever need help? I'll show you. When it comes to beating these, what is it called? The guild battles. A lot of times in the rounds, we're just losing by a couple points. So even if like a player is like a low level player, like say if Shelly, let's see what level she was at. Shelly's alt active. Even though she's only at a level 100, she can still help our team because occasionally there'll be someone on the other team that's also very low level. So then they can beat them and get us some points. Holy fuck, there's no low level ones here. Everyone's like 230 or plus. Yeah, so Shelly, don't feel bad if you're on our team and you can't kill the top teams. Just remember that even if you get us any points, it still helps. Or even if you don't, it's nice to have some more people in the guild. Yeah, because we do have a few low-level players that are still contributing the best they can. Potato Memes helps out occasionally. Shelly. I miss Ninja. I remember when I got the crush on Ninja and then found out he was a guy. I was like, no. Yeah, that's why you got to be careful getting crushes on people online, right? Sometimes you don't even really know their gender. Yeah, so Shelly was talking about the new aerospace center. Yeah, and the aerospace center still isn't open, but we just got to remember that when they came out with this pet center, same thing. It was on the board for at least a week or two, I think, and then they opened it. So I'm pretty sure that's what's happening with the aerospace center. And if I had to guess, like if I was the game developers, I would move the event center thing just slightly over, like put it over here maybe, and then that would open up this whole corner for an actual new spot. So I don't know if the game developers want to keep adding stuff. I think they can. They have room to expand this, right? All right, so I think we got to go to the Institute so we can burn some of these extras. Holy God, man. Just quitting weed and fasting for a few hours, like it's only 1 in the afternoon. I'm already starting to feel the negative effects. I gotta go eat something. No, normally lately the negative effect that gets me quickest is I can just start feeling a little lightheaded. It's like, fuck, man. Even a few hours without eating. I miss the days when I was in my 20s and I could even go 2 weeks without feeling lightheaded not eating. No, I think usually, yeah, 2 weeks was the mark that I always had to call fasting off. I've never actually gone more than 2 weeks. Yeah, the bong song, or sound song. Yeah, I kind of missed the bong song. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Now that reminds me, like back in the day, I don't know if anyone remembers or it might not even be old enough. Back when SARS came out, it was like the first virus of this strain. And it leaked out of a lab in China, made its way to Canada because we had all the labs here that were working on shit too. But anyways, yeah, when that came out and we had the big outbreak, I actually hoped that it would come back one day. And people are like, what the fuck? Why would you hope for a virus to come back one day? Because I was like, man, that respiratory virus thing, it's going to create new technology. Like, you notice how our technology for masks actually sucks balls? Not in a good way. But it's like we're still using cloth, we're still using paper. There's the occasional gas mask people use, but I was just thinking, like, yeah, as much as these viruses and pandemics suck, it's driving our technology to invent new stuff. One of the things that I used to work on inventing was like different bongs and like filtration methods, and that's where I was like, you know what? If I took like a water bottle, attached it to my belt, put a tube in it so that it went to a mask, that I could breathe through that tube. It'd have to be wide enough tube, probably about that wide. So anyways, if you had that and then you put different liquids inside of the container, like if you put water, probably wouldn't filter too much. Water is an okay filter, but not that great. Then I was thinking if you put salt water, yeah, that would definitely sterilize a lot of things because salt is like a super sterilizing agent. So if you're breathing through salt water, yeah, it's like, not to offer medical advice, but I was thinking, dear God, like if you had a container on your belt that had a tube that you could breathe through and it went through salt water, it should pretty much sterilize anything that went through that tube. So that's how I was kind of thinking, like, man, wouldn't that be neat in the future? Everyone just has a little bottle on their side, like on their belt, and a little tube, sort of like those packs that you can wear where you just drink through a tube, except this would be a tube you could breathe through. You could use it for smog, you could use it for viruses, you could use it for smoke in a bad wildfire. The only shitty thing is the water would definitely start gunking up and you'd have to keep changing the water. So if you didn't have a source of clean water, it'd be hard to keep changing the filter. No, it was weird. Back when that last SARS virus broke out from the lab leak or whatever it was that time. Yeah, it was like, man, that was back when, well, I think that was the first time I had moved out and had my own apartment with roommates. Sadly, it didn't work out the greatest. And I moved out just before the house got broken into and everyone got beat up in like a really violent robbery. So I kind of actually just got out of that house just in time. I was thinking, dear God, man, if I was living in the house when it got broken into and it turned into a violent robbery, holy shit, man. Oh, I would not have just let them rob the house. And they had guns and everything, so yeah, it would have been a brutal fucking battle. So yeah, I was lucky that, yeah, no one got killed and I was out of the house before it got robbed like that. Now, if anyone's wondering, yeah, like violent crime robberies where like gang members bust in your door and beat you to death with a gun is actually more and more common in Canada every day. I think in some cities it's even happening daily. So it's like, that's where like when Canada's like, you know what, Canada, you don't need guns to protect yourself. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're literally getting robbed by violent criminals, kicking our doors in and beating the shit out of you. It's like, I think, yeah, people should have the right to defend themselves, right? Especially as the government keeps making people poorer and poorer, and this global reset is like forcing people to join gangs more and more. God, man. Now, I'm not even a big gun activist because I'm a big guy. Like, I'm 6'2", 200 pounds. I very rarely meet someone that I'm intimidated by because, yeah, most people can barely even see over my shoulders. Not to make fun of short people or anything, but yeah, I don't find too many short people intimidating. So I would never really buy a gun. It's like there would be no reason for me to have a gun. It's like I already have an advantage over anyone physically. I'm not at the point where I'm so weak that I actually need a gun. Not that like anyone who's weak and needs a gun is to be looked down upon. Like some people literally probably got medical conditions where they can't train and take care of themselves. So yeah, they probably really need a gun. I probably shouldn't be talking about self-defense on YouTube. I always forget. You got the list of things we're not allowed to talk about. I'm not allowed to talk about the virus. I can't talk about any criminal conspiracies. I'm not allowed to talk about anything that disregards man-made global warming. I'm by law required to agree with that. Oh yeah, and the virus stuff. Oh, I'm not even... There's probably a few other ones. I'll have to read the terms again. Yeah, but we got like a fucking sheet of stuff we're not allowed to talk about. And that's on there. So I'll have to be careful. I should be using sign language. Alright, is there anything left for me to click on? I think I've already done everything. Airship, Darwin, let's check. Just the tavern tasks. Yeah, and these are going to take a while. Yeah, I think the lightheadedness probably is quite a bit to do with cutting out the weed as well. Because now my brain synapses are having to try to rewire everything with a new chemical balance. And yeah, it's a little bit rough. Oh yeah, the flu shot. You know, that was the weirdest thing. Is being in property maintenance, I go out throughout the city and I talk to a bunch of my customers, right? A lot of them are old seniors that aren't on the internet. And unless I was over at their house, there was like no other way I would actually talk to them. So I started to go and ask some of the people, like, how has your reactions been to the virus, or how's it been to this? And you'll never guess what some of them told me. This one guy was telling me that the main reason, even though he's a senior and he never got this, is because every year that him and his wife went and got the flu shot, they got so sick that they almost died. And then they're like, holy shit, they stopped taking the flu shots, haven't been sick since. And they're talking like 4 or 5 years, year after year after year, getting the flu, getting the flu, getting the flu. And now ever since they stopped the flu shots, haven't been sick in like half a decade. So right there, he was like, I know that it might not be the same for everyone, but in his condition, when he takes these, he gets way worse. So he was very skeptical when they started to compare it to the flu shot and saying it works just as well as the flu shot. He was like, oh fuck, right? Oh, and the other thing too, he said that one of his friends was healthy, relatively young, like I think 50 or 60 or something he was saying, and he literally died of a heart attack the next day after getting this for the virus. And guess what happened? His family's like, holy fuck, this killed him. It gave him a heart attack. And you know what the doctor said? No. Even though your husband didn't have a heart condition, he died in natural causes. It wasn't from the shot. And then the families are like, what the fuck? He was perfectly healthy, died right after the shot of a side effect listed from the shot, right? And they fight him. So that's right then. That old guy's like, you know what? If they're going to kill my neighbor and fight them in lawsuits, I'm not taking that shit. And I was like, holy fuck, man. I wonder how many people are in that same situation where they literally saw someone die that they cared about from a heart attack right after taking this, and then had to fight the insurance companies and fight the government and fight like all these drug makers because they argue and say it wasn't from that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that is a horrible, horrible system. And the only thing I can look at it is like, maybe it's getting so bad that it'll actually fix it. Because, you know, sometimes people don't fix a problem until it gets super bad, right? So as bad as everything's getting around us, I try to stay at least a little optimistic that, hey, maybe it's going to get so bad that things will improve. Let's hope. The improve part. Alright, so I've got so many fucking heroes now. I'm actually at a loss of who we should make next. If anyone's got an idea for Darwin Lab and who we should make, fuck man, we got so many heroes now. Let's just take a quick glance. Who needs big long things? Pardon the pun. Alright. You know what really pisses me off? They always give me tons of these heroes that it's easy to make, except they never give you the one that you need. So they'll give you that, they'll give you that, you give you that. They just keep giving you tons and tons of those. But will they give you the symphony you need to finish? No. They won't give you that one. Oh well. Now I was going to use this guy to make another copy of her, but I'm pretty sure I need him for another recipe. So we're going to wait on that one. This one, we don't have enough. Hitler, missing that guy again. Rock God, we're definitely not going to evolve Rock God to gold. We already made that mistake before. That was a nightmare. If anyone's wondering why making Rock God gold is a nightmare, because he's not part of any of the ingredients. So if you make him, you can't really use him for anything. I don't know why the game did that, but I could be wrong. If anyone knows someone that the Rock God's used for in an evolution, let me know. Like a gold or red hero evolution. Kim is getting tempted. Oh, we don't have her. Fuck, man, we got enough ingredients to turn Khan gold. I don't think we're going to make him gold, just because we need him for a few other ingredients too. Alright, so I guess I'll wrap up the show because we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's awesome to get a chance to chat with everyone. I know I'm still doing like social isolation most of the time. I haven't really gotten back into the habit of hanging out with friends and family and visiting people yet, so I really appreciate everyone coming by and saying hi. It almost feels like I have a normal life. Almost. Alright, Steadfast, Shelly, Worldson Roca, Alt Stinger 11, Steadfast, Shelly, Alt Stinger, Warzard the Board Time Lord. Yeah, I'll try to find out about the Odyssey 2. Warzard, Steadfast, Naked HD. Remember Naked, we got some kids in the chat, so try to at least keep it PG-13. Alright, Steadfast. Heapers Creepers. Haven't heard that one in a while. Fatty Kuka. Oh boy. George Washington. Eat a steak. Nah, I don't think steak today, but we'll at least get some cereal today. Now I think cutting the sugar out of my diet is actually making me feel a lot better already too. Too much sugar actually makes me feel tired all the time. Yesterday, it was funny. I woke up at like 5 a.m. and stayed up till 3 a.m. and didn't get tired at all. Yeah, it's because of that weird chemical imbalance when you quit weed. But isn't that weird? Like you can literally stay up for like 24 hours, not even get tired. It was such a weird feeling. You're like, God, I've been awake for 24 hours. Why the hell aren't I tired? Ooh, we can do another Pericles. Ooh, the hot nurse babe. Hello, nurse. Now, I used to watch the Animaniacs, and yeah, they used to make some pretty good nurse jokes. Ah, we might go this route. We'll make a gold Cleopatra. Because I'm pretty sure we've got copies of Yes We Can, Obama. We've got a copy of him. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make a copy of... Oh, we can't, because we need this guy. Fuck, should have realized. Idiot. Ah, we really need some more of that beard guy. Oh, Shelly, before she was asking how close are we getting to that Captain Cuck guy, we actually got 3 copies of him. The only thing we need now is Goddess of the Moon and Agatha. And those 2 are probably going to be really hard to get, but... Alright, so Omni-OG. I think we got enough Omni-OGs. We could make an Omni-OG. So if we need a gold Omni-OG, we might actually go that route. Ooh, this girl, Empress Wu. It's actually one of my favorite YouTubers, Sexy Cyberborg Woo. Man, is she a babe. All right, Catholic Hero, Geronimo. Yeah, this guy with the car. Fuck, man, we could actually just make him. I don't know, he's so useless. That's the only thing. I'm like, fuck, I could make him, but who the hell am I going to use him for? Yeah, we got enough to make another Van Gogh. Way to go. Ah, we do have enough to make the Van Gogh. That's interesting. So if anyone thinks we should make Van Gogh, let us know in the chat. Oh, we're getting close to another Lubu. Yeah, I used to love playing Dynasty Warriors. God, I miss Lubu. I don't know, Dynasty Warriors, man, I used to play that on PlayStation 1, I think. And then when it came out on PlayStation 2, oh, it was so much better. Ah, we got enough to make another Gus. Should we make Gus? Yeah, let's do it. Let's make a Gus at least. So we can say we made at least one gold today. I was going to try to wrap up the show before the 2-hour mark and we failed. Oh yeah, let's give a shout out to the viewers with an applause. Yeah, you never know. Like as much as that old guy was saying that he took the flu shot every year, almost died from it every year for like a decade, and then when he stopped taking it, he got healthy. But who knows? Maybe it was the shots that he took all those years prior that actually built his immunity so he would never catch it again. Technically, that could be true, right? Let's hope. Not that it was all a giant waste. A scam. Ah, fuck, we got no purple gold lightnings? You gotta be shitting me. Alright, let's make this guy. If we can. Yes. Marilyn Monroe. What a babe. Yeah, that's the thing too. They say it's a different flu every year. But you know what was the weirdest thing? They said that people that survived the, what am I thinking? Not swine flu. What was the big one that everyone was talking about? Was it swine flu? No. The Spanish flu, that's it. So when everyone was talking about the Spanish flu, they said that they actually looked at people that survived the Spanish flu and they had better immunity to future viruses, even though they weren't the same virus. So it's kind of weird how our immune system can work like that, eh? Even though it's not the exact same virus, sometimes actually getting immunity from another virus can help, which is so weird, right? I don't know, I'm not a virologist, so I really have no idea, but if it's weird or not. Oh yeah, and that was the other thing too. When that virus I was talking about, SARS, it was in Toronto, like, I don't know, was that 10 or 20 years ago? But anyways, that SARS virus, they tested people like today to see how they reacted to like the new virus, and they had immunity as well. So even though they got, SARS like 20 years ago, they were still immune from the virus today. So I was like, wow, man, that's some hardcore herd immunity, right? Fucking lasted 20 years and it was still working. And it wasn't even the same virus, just a related virus, which makes me wonder, like, how many times can you have the common cold and it actually boosts your immunity to other viruses? That'd be weird. I don't think it works like that, but maybe. Alright, who was the other one? There she is. Alright, Gus, let's give her a go. Where are we going? Westward, ho. No, speaking of hoes, I was reading the funniest joke today. I don't know, some people might not find it funny. Sorry if it's too offensive, but... Oh yeah, I guess too many kids are watching. We won't cover this joke today, but no, I was just gonna say, all right, let's do it. When I was a kid, they actually had this product. I never even noticed that it looked funny until I was an adult. And don't ask why. When summer's fast approaching and temperatures are expected to skyrocket, head over to Dollar Tree and buy these ice pops to keep your insides cold. I'm sure they mean your stomach cold, not any other insides. Get your mind out of the gutter. Yeah, that was a pretty funny one. I like that one. I had another funny one. I lost it. Oh well, we'll try to find it for next time. No, I was sick of that because we had those weird popsicle shapes when I was a kid. And I was like, why did they make them such weird shapes, right? Like, just trying to eat the thing. Why does it have to be all these fucked up shapes? I can't just be a normal, like, hot dog shape. Oh, God. All right. Clearly, I've been in lockdowns way too long. It's totally destroyed my mind. Just kidding. Oh, fuck, man. That was the scariest thing that I read about the Sandy Hook case. I don't know, like, I never researched it before, and I was telling people with some of the weird shit that I found out about it. You know how the government, when they had the September 11th attacks, they went around on the ground and happened to find the passports on the ground next to the towers? So all the fucking steel melted, the girder beams melted, everything burst into flames. But the passport survived and landed on the ground intact for the investigators to find. So apparently that's what happened in the Sandy Hook incident, is the investigators started finding all these really weird clues. They're like, holy shit, how would you ever find that clue? Doesn't make any sense. So what was one of the clues they found? They said they couldn't find a suicide note. So like the kid who did like the mass shooting, allegedly, I don't think he ever faced trial for it, right? But anyways, the kid that allegedly did it, he didn't leave a suicide note. So everyone's like, shit, man, like normally when you say someone committed suicide, how you prove it is you find the note and it explains that they were going to commit suicide, right? And then they tried to frame the kid as someone who played a lot of violent video games. So then they got into his video game archive of like what games he had, and he used to play a lot of DDR and Super Mario. So I was like, what the fuck? DDR and Super Mario are not super violent video games, right? So when they tried to blame it on like a suicide or the video games, like nothing was adding up, right? The only thing that I think did add up, which really concerned me about the lockdowns especially, is they found a list of stuff that he didn't like about school. And which is really weird too. Like, how many kids make a list about stuff? Like, I don't know. When I was a kid, I don't think I ever made a list. I could be wrong, but apparently this kid made a list of stuff that he didn't like about school. And he wrote like he was like 2 years old. Like he could barely write. I was like, wasn't this guy supposed to be like in his 20s? And he couldn't write? Like, I think they said that he was homeschooled at one point, but still, like, how you could go through school and not be able to write. I think they said he did have some learning disabilities, so that's probably a part of it. Alright, let's try a dungeon battle. Yeah, so the thing that the kid wrote, apparently, about what he didn't like about school, which they think was the motive for the school shooting, what was the top of the list? He didn't like germs. So he was a germaphobe. So he was afraid of germs. I was like, what does that remind you of? What they're teaching kids today for the pandemic, right? Not Spy Ringo. Hey, how's it going? Or no, not Cyringo. I think I got that a little better that time. So anyways, he wrote that he didn't like germs. So I was like, wow, that's like really weird. Oh, and then he wrote that there wasn't enough room for social distancing in the hallways at the school. I was like, this was before the pandemic. Why would he care about social distancing in hallways? So that was like 2 things that were on the list of what they're doing to kids today that he put on his list. And then what was the other thing? He didn't like the isolation. He said that he felt too isolated. And I was like, well, what are kids doing under the lockdowns? They're being isolated, and the other 2 things we just mentioned. So I was like, holy shit, that kid literally left a list of all the things that he didn't like, and those are all the things that kids are going through today during the lockdowns. So I was like, holy fuck, is no one concerned about this? Like, we had a kid who literally went on a mass shooting spree, allegedly, left a list of why he did it, and that's what we're inflicting on all the kids now. On purpose. And it's like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, that's right. Howie Mandel. He used to have or I guess he still does, the germ phobia, where he couldn't even shake people's hands. Which is weird. I used to be a janitor, and I was always cleaning washrooms, right? And I'd see people go in and out of the washroom, and they'd be too afraid to like even touch the door handle. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually cleaning this door handle a few times every hour. It's probably one of the cleanest things you could touch. And yeah, the guy was like still like so freaked out that he couldn't touch anything. And I was thinking, he gets sick all the time. So this idea of trying to put himself in a bubble and hiding himself from all natural immunity, it was making him sicker and sicker and sicker, allegedly. I'm not his doctor, so I don't know, maybe he had some other conditions that were causing it as well, but so yeah, so here's this sick guy, he's so afraid of getting sick all the time, and he's like a super germaphobe. I think at one point in even medical documents, they started talking about it, like people started to get worse asthma when they put more air filters in their house, and people couldn't figure it out. And then they're like, oh, it's because when you put a lot of air filters in your house, all of a sudden your lungs aren't exposed to a lot of dust, and they lose their natural immunity to dust. So as soon as you start taking away the natural immunity, all of a sudden you get asthma. I was like, what the fuck, right? I think medically it's debatable if that was really the cause, but that was actually in a few documents. So like, you know what? If you're getting a lot of breathing problems, a lot of people started taking out the air filters. And all of a sudden now they don't have the same problems. Well, it could be maybe people just let the air filters get too dirty, but I doubt that. All right, so did we kick that other person off? Yeah, we did. So we do have room. If anyone, Shelly or otherwise, wants to add me as a friend, should be able to. Hey, there's Joker. I usually fight that guy a lot. Hey, there's Subaru. I know him too. Blacklist. All right, so I think we covered everything for today. We gave a shout out to all the viewers. Thanks again for tuning in. Holy shit, we almost made it up to 10 likes. Yeah, I guess it was kind of nice that that guy wasn't touching the door handle, because then I would have less to clean. To me, like, I'm kind of like a neat freak. Well, it's hard to tell when you look at my room right now. God, I need to do some cleaning, but normally I'm a neat freak. Like when I lived in my own apartment, it was literally like spotless for 9 years. I couldn't even look at like a speck of dust on a toilet for more than a few minutes before I'd have to clean it off. So I actually didn't mind doing lots of cleaning. It was kind of like a stress relief. Sort of like when an obsessive compulsive person like just puts everything neat and organized. Sort of like me in cleaning. When I'm cleaning, it's like my element. I love cleaning. Yeah, if any ladies are looking for a guy that can clean the house. I used to actually be in charge of cleaning a 2 million square foot facility. So I'm sure I can handle a house. Depending what you're doing in it. Yeah, that 2 million square foot facility, I have to admit, that was actually a little bit more than I could clean. That was one job where I took on more than I could handle. All right, so yeah, we got all that. Next episode, what we'll do is we'll go through all the viewer comments and see what people said about the Darwin lab. Because I think we can make a few reds. We can definitely make a few golds. So if anyone's got ideas of which ones we should do, it'll help me narrow it down. Because right now there's actually so many, it's kind of hard for me to focus on what we should do. So if anyone's got good ideas, I'm willing to debate it or at least listen to it and see what ideas you got. If I had to guess what people are going to recommend, maybe we should just go ahead and make Harsh Assassin, so that way we have 2 extra golds we can burn, and then make a new red. And if anyone's got a red that they really want to see me make, just let me know in the chat. We'll try to do it next episode. It's so weird, because I got so many ingredients that I could literally choose from like any of these red heroes. Except when we get into the Chaos and those ones, those we obviously don't have enough ingredients. But the other ones, yeah, we got the ingredients to almost make anyone. Except for the really good ones. Yeah, I got that one Anderson frag, and I'm thinking about making the shark guy in the future. I don't know if I will or not. I was thinking either the shark guy or go with this guy, right? If anyone had to pick, if you're going to use your Anderson frags, would you use it to make this guy, or would you use it to make the other one I just mentioned? Can't even remember. Yeah, I need something to eat. I cannot remember anything. Oh, we made it to 10 likes. Not that likes are everything, but dear God, it helps. No, when I make it to 10 likes, it almost feels like I made it. It's my measure for success. Yeah, so that's what we got planned for the next episode. And if anyone's got any ideas where we could get 2 gold frags, fuck, I wish we had 2 more. So close to a new gold hero draw. Alright, so that's everything that we're going to do next episode. Oh, and we're also going to check into the aerospace. So we're going to keep checking the aerospace, and hopefully soon we'll find out. And to finish off the summary, good luck to everyone in the Hunger Games. Good luck to Takahan, and see you later, or call later like I like to call him. And congratulations to user 420 and Psychosis for making the semifinals. That was some pretty epic battles. Alright, so let's go to the fire screen. Right, if you happen to get any aerospace center items in your vaporizer and they taste like shit, give the show a dislike. But if it doesn't happen, you can give it a like. Really appreciate it. Just make sure never buy the products from my sponsor.
Because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you later.
Wrong screen. See you. Yeah, and good luck with the fasting, everyone. Don't take it too far. If you feel your body, listen to your body. It knows. Later. No, listen to your doctor too. I'm sure they know. All right, see you later. Bye for now. Oh yeah, not the fire screen. There we go. Aerospace Center. Can't wait. Holy shit, 11 likes. Hey, Gusto, you just tuned in, but thanks a lot for tuning in. Oh! FA5 Hour. Looks like a player from an Asian country. Could be Japan, China, Philippines, who knows? I'm not really good at reading Mandarin or Chinese. Or Japanese. Hi, I'm so happy. I got Founding Father from Gene Bank as soon as I can make him orange. Oh yeah, congratulations. Founding Father. Let's see. Gene Bank, Founding Father. Yeah, so congratulations to him. And oh yeah, not Spiring all. Thanks a lot, and Augusto. So thanks again everyone. See you later. Oh yeah, have a good weekend.